Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jerry Shoenfeld, and I'm a professor over at Florida Gulf Coast University, and I'll be conducting the long-range planning survey. I've been at FGCU since it opened back in 1997. It's kind of fun to say that you've been at ground zero for a university, but we're at 17 years old with 15,000 students. And during those last 17 years, I've had the opportunity to work with a number of different clubs here in Southwest Florida, helping them mainly with doing a lot of their member surveys, looking at satisfaction and interests and needs and expectations for their club experience. And that's what we're really going to be doing here. We're really starting to ask you what the club should be focusing on long-term going forward in the future, 3, 5, 10 years and beyond. Jack just told you a little bit about some of the external trends, but more than knowing what's happening outside of Eagle Creek, we're very interested in knowing what is of most concern for all of you. So your information becomes sort of the foundation for long-term strategic planning. As Pat indicated, this has been a very inclusive process to get to where we are today. Over the last 4 months or so, we've gone through a number of different iterations of the survey, trying to be inclusive in covering sort of a broad array of different interests and needs from the members. So right now, the survey itself is looking at a wide spectrum of areas that may be of importance to the membership. We're not certain, but we want to be inclusive in terms of the areas that are focused on, to then sit back and hear from all of you in terms of, are these areas that are future priorities or things that shouldn't be paid attention to. So we've created the survey. We are ready to send it out tomorrow. One of the things that we're doing with the survey is that we're asking both spouses to complete the survey. You know, instead of one per membership, we want everybody to participate in the survey. The reality is that, you know, a husband might have certain preferences for some things, and the wife plays tennis and feels very passionate about tennis, and the husband doesn't really give a hoot about tennis. So we want to hear from everybody to make sure everybody's interests and needs and expectations and desires are heard from. With that, I should mention too that on the survey, we're going to ask for your membership number at the beginning. Now, some people are very concerned about that in terms of confidentiality. I just want to assure you that that is being used mainly as a way of making sure that people aren't over-participating on the survey. We don't want to have somebody who's stuffing the ballot with their opinions on any one issue. So I'm the only one that is going to be looking at the database. All the results are going to be presented at an aggregate basis. So I just want to assure you that by putting your membership number, nothing will ever be revealed about your personal opinions on the survey. The survey can be completed in 2 ways. It can be completed online, which is the preferred method. The online method is on a server at Florida Gulf Coast University using the university's own software system. I'm the only one that'll be looking at all that information and then aggregating the results. It can be done on a paper version, and Lori Johnson will be having copies of it available to members who have asked or request for a paper version of the survey.
Leslie.
Oh, sorry, Leslie Johnson. My apologies, Leslie. So there'll be paper copies available if you feel uncomfortable doing it online. But it's very easy to use it online. It's the questions itself, and we can turn to the next slide in terms of some of the areas that we're focusing on. We're going to ask a number of demographic questions, and that's going to allow us to analyze the data at further levels of depth. Of course, the aggregate levels is always the most important and meaningful, but then if we want to break it out by gender or age demographics, it allows us to look a little bit deeper at what is more meaningful to younger versus older members, for example. We're going to ask questions about your overall satisfaction. As Pat pointed out, we're going to ask questions that cover not just the club, but the community association and the neighborhood associations as well. All aspects of living here at Eagle Creek are to be included in the survey. And of course, we're going to ask questions about some of the primary amenities, you know, the club itself, tennis and golf and pickleball and dining. So we'll get some questions out. Although the survey itself is not intended to be a satisfaction survey. So while there's a couple of questions looking at overall satisfaction, we're mainly trying to pinpoint specific areas of your experience and what areas need to be improved, what areas can be enhanced, what areas would you like to see added to your club experience. Most of the questions are on a 5-point scale where you just have to point, where no interest to extreme interest or low satisfaction to high satisfaction. Although throughout the survey there are going to be opportunities for you to add written comments as well. So while we try to be very inclusive in the survey development process by getting lots of different folks involved and providing ideas of what should be covered in the survey, we also know that not everybody participated in the creation of the survey, and so you might have a particular interest or idea that wasn't covered in the survey. So there's going to be opportunities spaced out throughout the survey, and then especially at the end where you can provide your own ideas for different activities or interests you would like to see the club. Should be scuba diving in the swimming pool or whatever it is that you have an idea or passion for that wasn't covered in the survey itself. All those the qualitative comments will be categorized as well as we go forward in analyzing the data. So the survey itself is, the idea behind doing surveys in club is that decision making is only as good as the information you have to base your decisions on. And so the survey provides a basis to know what all of the members' viewpoints are regarding their club experience. We have committees, and committees do a lot of good work, but they're only, they're your elected representatives. But now we're asking for everybody to participate. And as Jack said, we like to get over 50% participation on the survey. Generally, from a statistical perspective, if we can get over 40%, we can say that the results represent the entire community. But it's always, the higher the number, the better, and the stronger we can say it represents the opinions of the entire community going forward. So we have a 3-week time period to complete the survey. It'll be sent out tomorrow in an email. Now on the email itself, there's going to be a link. All you have to do is hit Control, click, and you'll be taken right to the survey at FGCU, and you can begin completing the survey. Now, as I've said a couple times, we were inclusive in the survey. So, expect to spend, if you work quickly, about 20 minutes. If you're going to write a lot of written comments, it could be 45 minutes. But on average, we expect it to be around 20 to 25 minutes to complete the survey. So if you're going to complete it online, try to balance, budget your time so you'll be there for 20 minutes to half an hour to finish the survey once online. We're going to do questions a little bit later, but I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. The other thing I want to emphasize as you complete the survey is that nothing on the survey is a vote. This is just ideas and information as to these are some of the things that you're interested in exploring further. You may have some interest in seeing what's available and what could be done, but nothing that you put in the survey indicates this means that the membership says we should have, since Jack was focusing on pickleball courts, 10 pickleball courts here at Eagle Creek. So nothing on the survey is a mandate by any means. All right, thank you.